The noise that you hear at the moment is the sound of the air raid sirens.
The war is the Blitz, and it is about the Second World War, and particularly the sort of aerial bombardment of London. The Blitz is known as London's darkest hour, but also London's finest hour. Famously, Churchill said, "Save St Paul's. Whatever else you do, save St Paul's." And it became hugely important for morale, so much so people in the East End would get up each morning and look out the window and go, "Is St Paul's okay? Okay, then we can keep going." The way it was built made it particularly sort of vulnerable to attack, because Wren wanted this enormous dome on the skyline, and what kept St Paul's safe was volunteers known as the Night Watch, who basically lived in St Paul's, and every night they were up on the rooftops, up in the dome space with buckets of sand ready to put out fires. We go on a big loop around St Paul's. We go to Paternoster Square first of all, and then Greyfriars Christ Church, which was a church that was burnt out on the 29th of December 1940, and it was one of the biggest churches in the city before the war. But they decided to turn it into this garden, so we have trellis where the columns were, and the planted area is more or less the pews. So you get quite a good idea of the feel of, and actually the scale of, as it would have been. And we head up towards the Museum of London and skirt along the edge of the Barbican and come back past the Guildhall.
The Guildhall, with its fine banqueting chambers and frescoed walls, was severely damaged.
In amongst the ruins of all these other buildings, to find those ancient walls still standing, the most important architecturally bit of the whole lot. Incredibly moving. There is this very strong idea about the Blitz spirit and how tough it was in London, and people kept going against the odds and just fighting on and things. And I think it's not universally true, but there's definitely instances of that. Noel Mander worshipped round the corner at St Vidas, and he was here on the 29th of December, and he said he'd never forget the sound of the bells crashing down from the towers when the bell supports had burnt, and the sound of the organs. The hot air got forced through the organ pipes. He said it's as if the very organs were shrieking in agony at their own destruction.
Just the sound of footsteps walking along the street, like ghosts shod with steel shoes. A taxi draws up just in front and stops, just waiting for that red light to change to green while the sirens howl.